When we started this Defeat Day Zero campaign less than a month ago, people thought to themselves it would be impossible to find ourselves in a space where we can win the fight and continue to win it. The prospects of success were considerably low. And I think with the interventions by the city and various role players, I'm grateful to know that you've known that the initial announcement that we put forward, that we've been able to push Day Zero further back. What's important to note is that when we started, it was on the 12th of April, and now by a little bit over less than a month, we're now on the 11th of May. And I'm confident as we sit here today that we will continue to expand that due date even furthermore. I do think that it's important to note that our dam levels are sitting at 25.5% at this stage. And over the past seven days, the city has consumed an average of 547 million litres per day, which is a significant improvement from last week. But I do want to remind us that we're still a further 97 million litres away from the target. We've got to get to about 450 million litres. And I believe that if we can hit sub 500 and soon, then we can even stretch Day Zero even much further on. A significant contributing factor has been the decline in water usage in the agricultural sector. At this present, the sector has consumed approximately 90% of its allocation. This means that in the coming months, the demand to the Western Cape supply system by agricultural sector will drop significantly, if not altogether. The level of consumption also remains higher than the 450 million litres per target that we need to reach. Therefore, the city has in fact started to implement several demand management techniques to further reduce usage and help us defeat Day Zero. Other demand management interventions will include the introduction of level 6B tariffs from 1 February as we've begun in 2018, which in effect will mean that the more you use, the more it will cost you. It must be made clear that all revenue from such tariffs is allocated to spending on water infrastructure and new augmentation projects. Household flow regulators, the city has already started to install water management devices to manage consumption. The program has also dramatically ramped up to households who have now reduced their consumption. In bringing this to a close, just update you on the supply solutions that the city has come up. Because in the absence of considerable rainfall to reduce consumption, we are also increasing water supply through a number of new projects. There are currently desalination plants in the pipeline, which together will add an approximately 16 million litres of water per day into the system by May 2018. As far as groundwater is concerned, these groundwater abstraction aquifers will each supply, will at their peak supply almost 150 million litres of water to the city. As far as the water reuse plants, these have already been underway and which are medium to long-term projects. These projects will collectively add 125 million litres per day of water supply by the end of 2021. Lastly, as far as water transfers are concerned, we've secured approximately 10,000 megalitres of water, which will be transferred from a large dam on the Palmead River in the next 120 days. And I want to again thank the farmers in this region for giving up their excess water to help Cape Town in its time of need. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important to note, Day Zero still remains a possibility, but defeating it will require collective effort from all of us, households, businesses, and all spheres of government. Every day we push back Day Zero is a day closer to defeating it in its entirety. We've shown again this week that in fact this is entirely possible. We've brought down consumption and we've pushed back Day Zero. Therefore, I want to thank all the people of Cape Town, thank all the farmers, thank the respective people who've come up with different initiatives about how to share water and how to save water with the people. And I think it's great to see such inspiring and creative ways that South Africans are putting on board. I want to thank you very much.